Welcome back to the Ascendry podcast. We're back for another episode, and this time I have somebody with me who is, to say a veteran in the music industry in the mixing game would be a bit of an understatement, I believe. You know, he's somebody I worked with in the Recording Connection Audio Institute days, both as a fellow mentor, and then Donny, I also sent you a bunch of students. So it's
Hey.
yeah, it's been a long time coming, but he's here, he's with us,
Yeah, man.
and yeah.
I mean, straight up, bro. Let me just tell you, I'm super proud of you and what you're doing. This is a great platform, and I can't wait to talk about it, man. I'm super excited. I'm super excited not only for you, but for the students, bro. I mean, you guys from Recording Connection, man. You guys were always so passionate, but it felt like you were kind of tethered, to say the least. You know what I mean? So
I
I'm
think that's
super
accurate.
proud of you and what you guys are doing in this, man. And I can't wait to talk about it. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I mean,
Yeah.
before we jump into all that, I do, I feel like everybody watching the podcast needs to know sort of who you are. So it's like, give us, if you could, just give us a quick who you are, what you do, all that.
Well, right now, man, I'm a mix guy. I'm a producer. Let's not confuse the term producer with the guy that makes the beats. I'm not that kind of producer. I don't play instruments. I don't make music. I produce music. I tell the guitar player, hey, bro, I don't like that tone. Let's change it. You know, let's try a different guitar. Let's try a different amp. Whatever. So I'm an audio engineer, music producer, mostly mixing nowadays. We ran ES Audio Recording Studios for 22 years here in Los Angeles, and
That's right.
recently we've changed a little bit, and this is now the studio. This is called the B-Side Studios. It's the second B studio that I had at the other spot. So it's a little different. It's very cool. I really enjoy it.
I remember this because on your website, it was the second listing on the
Yeah.
ES Audio website, right?
Yeah. Basically, but in a nutshell, bro, they sold our building. We had to move. You know, I don't want to get too emotional about that because it was 22 years of me killing myself to make that like a really cool spot here in Los Angeles. We did a ton of work with a ton of artists, and we were known as a drum studio. People would come to us to record their drums because they knew what they were going to get. They knew who we were. They knew, you know, and it worked. So we did a lot of drum work.
Remember, because this was, hopefully I'm allowed to share this on this podcast, but this was many years ago. I had sent you a student and we wound up on some tangent about something else, school related. And I think that you had mentioned that you were having a pretty large drummer from a very, very large band coming through. And you told me to come through the studio and sort of witness this, but I actually missed it because I was working.
Yeah, I don't remember which drummer that was because we had so many big
Can I
time.
say?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. You told me it was Travis Barker from Blink
Yeah,
182.
he hung out with us a little bit. Dude, he used to live in my neighborhood. He had this is really funny, bro. He had the same house number as mine, but it was 3 blocks that way. So, you know, my wife and I would go for a walk after dinner and we'd hear somebody practicing drums in the garage. I'm like, bro, that sounds like Travis Barker, man.
And it
And
was
then
Travis Barker.
one day I saw him at the grocery store and I was like, yo, Travis Barker, what are you doing in my grocery store? He goes, bro, I'm buying fruit for my kids. I live down the street. It's like, oh, that is you. That was awesome. It was so funny, man.
That's
Because I
nuts. I
didn't know.
can't imagine walking
Yeah,
past.
it's
Like,
crazy.
I mean, they say that kind of thing happens in LA kind of a lot, where it's like
Oh,
you
it does.
don't
Yeah.
realize who you're walking past. Then, you know, I can't tell you. I could literally flick through it like a file cabinet, all the different random
Yeah.
stories where it's like I'd walk into some store, and you know, I'd be like, I'd do a double take kind of, but like not too much, right? Because you don't want for them to get weirded out.
Yeah.
But then I'd be like, no, yeah, that was 100% so and so.
Yeah. I bumped into Steve Carell the other day. It was pretty funny, man. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Be careful who you flip off in road rage situations because they might be a client, you know, so.
Oh no! Wait, really? Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever actually flipped off a client?
But you know, no, I'm just saying that you should be careful who you flipping off in Los Angeles because you never know who they might be or when you might
That's
run
true.
into them again. So yeah, just be careful.
Yeah.
No, it
Despite
hasn't happened
being
to
a
me
huge
personally, but
city, it's
it
such a
is, but
huge
it's
city, but
not.
you never know because everybody sits in like a certain pocket. Like for
Yeah.
me, I live in like the Koreatown sort of mid
Right.
Wilshire area, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much where I spent almost the entire time I
Yeah.
lived there.
I'm in Burbank, so Burbank's like a little small town that nobody ever heard of, you know? It's pretty cool. But
So
it's
chill
inside the
though.
big city. So it's pretty neat. Everybody knows. I go to the grocery store, everybody knows me. You know, it's like, oh hey,
Yeah,
so
sweet.
it's pretty neat. But yeah, that's what I do now, man. I'm kind of an introvert. I like doing things on my own. I like being in the room by myself and just working on stuff. I like it. The change has been we started this place in August. So it's been since August we've been here. And it was a adjustment to say the least. More of an adjustment of not having to deal with people like I was, you know, and I miss the people, like working with the people, but at the same time, I've got my clients that trust me to record their stuff and produce their stuff. And we go to other studios to record, say, drums. You know, we were at we went to Sunset Sound a couple weeks ago. I got another session coming up on the 15th of this month that's going to be at Sunset and
That is a
doing drums.
beautiful studio.
Oh
That
my
is
god,
such a
bro!
beautiful
The
studio.
history alone, the history alone. You know who I ran into, man? Speaking of running into people, um, randomly I was selling some gear that I wouldn't need anymore, and this guy came in to buy we had this headphone system, the Aviom headphone system for our larger studio. We weren't gonna need it, so I was put it up for sale on Reverb. And the guy that bought it was Ken Calais, man. I was just like, bro, you're freaking Ken Calais. You're
This is
buying my
wild.
stuff? This is awesome. I mean, that's the guy that produced Fleetwood Mac Rumors. I mean, come on.
That's
You
crazy.
know,
Like,
and I was like, oh my God, bro, you're Ken Kelly. And that I don't usually get starstruck like that, but that guy, yeah, he's one of those top guys. It's just like, whoa.
I
That,
feel like when I first moved to LA, my manager at the time, the whole management company, they had this thing where they would talk to us about, like, don't be starstruck. It's going to make you look unprofessional. They tried to kind of get us to train ourselves out of that mentality because it's just better in the long run to be cool natured and just not weird out, the
yeah,
talent, But there are obvious exceptions to that. I feel like, I mean, everybody's got like one or two. Like mine was, it was Jonathan Davis from
okay.
Korn, and his son Nathan goes by Hi I'm Ghost. He was playing at Avalon Hollywood, and my buddy KJ walks up and he's like, "Yo, did you see Nathan brought his dad with him?" And I'm like, at the time I didn't really put two and two together, but then I was like, "Oh, that's good. Supportive dad. Coming to his show. That's great." And he looks at me, he's like, "He's over there, and it's Jonathan Davis from Korn." I'm and it's like you have to let
Yeah,
there's one
yeah,
or
you
two
got
people you let the starstruck override go for at
yeah,
least
there's
a
there's
few.
there's a couple of those, man. And, I mean, dude, I've been in the game such a long time. I mean, geez, I mean, the list you were on your thing. You were asking the list of people that the notable people have worked with. Bro, I don't have time for that.
I was about to
You don't
say,
have
is there a
time for the whole
character
list.
limit? You probably came across the character limit for
Yeah,
inputting.
I opened it up because I mean the list is extensive, so I opened it up on my website. If you guys want to go to the website, go to esaudio.com and look at the client list. That's just a few. That's not even counting my touring days from back in the day.
We'll
I
put it in
started
the
out.
description. We'll put your website in the description.
Okay, cool. I started out as a live guy. I was a touring engineer, and I toured for 13 years. And, some of the people I worked with have pretty big names,
Yeah.
and
So you,
in that you can't get starstruck. You just can't. You
yeah,
can't be hanging out. You can't be standing next to Madonna and go, "Oh my God, it's Madonna." No, that's the lady that's writing your she's signing your check, bro. So be careful. You
yeah,
know.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So really quick. So you've done so much in the studio department, in the touring, in the live department. But where does this all begin?
Oh my
Where
God.
did you?
I
How
knew
did
you.
you get started?
I knew you were gonna ask me that, bro. I actually got notes. Now listen, man. I come from the most non-musical family you could ever imagine in the world. My family, my family growing up, I'm from South Louisiana, and when somebody asks me where I'm from, I say New Orleans because nobody knows where Jean Lafitte Baptiste is at, otherwise known as Lafitte. Now, not Lafayette. Lafayette's a big city. Lafitte, uh, the population there right now is like 806. So
Wow.
yeah, it's tiny. But when I was there, it was like less than 300. And it's a fishing village, is what it is. So my family are all fishermen. They're commercial fishermen. Shrimp in the summer, oysters in the winter. And so just the most non-musical anything you could think. I mean, they liked music. They had a radio, and that was pretty much as musical as they got. I don't know where it came from, bro, but when I was 13, we moved to the United Kingdom for my dad got a job in Saudi. A long story, but anyway, so we moved to the UK when I was 13, and I sat next to a dude on the airplane going to the UK named Pat Travers. He's a Canadian rock star. You might know him from his hit was "Boom Boom Out Go the Lights." In case you
Oh,
youngsters want
okay.
to look up some rock and roll music, But I sat next to this dude, and he looked like a freaking rock star. I think he had just turned 20 years old, and I was 13. So he was going there to play some shows. It was like his first tour, and he was on his way to Europe to do his tour. And bro, he was excited. And he just talked to me the entire time about music and how cool it was and how much fun and this and that. And I think that's what set it off. Because while I was there, I was in the UK till I was 17, 18. And while I was there, I got involved in the AV department at school, and we would do shows, and I was running the sound and the lights, and it was that stuck, man. So when I came home, it just continued. One of the bands that y'all might know that's from my kind of my hometown area was Zebra. Again, man, back in the day, these rock songs, these rock and roll bands. But Zebra basically was a garage band, and I would go help out and mix their stuff while they were practicing in the garage. And this is kind of where it started. So I was pretty good at mixing, and somebody noticed that, and they asked me to mix a show. So I drove up to Baton Rouge and mixed a show for this guy that was a local guy, but he was playing a show in Baton Rouge. And he liked it, so he hired me. He actually paid me. I'm like, bro, I get paid for doing this shit? It was crazy.
That first paid gig moment is like no other.
Holy crap, I get paid?
Yeah.
I get free beer and I get paid? Yeah,
it's like Will Poulter from that movie. You know, the one where he's like, you guys are getting paid?
You guys are getting paid?
It's like one of those moments, like, you know, for me, it was a basement gig where I was DJing, and he's like, all right, here you go. Here's $40. But he didn't realize that $40 as a 17-year-old who didn't expect any pay. I was like, whoa. You know?
Yeah, this is for you youngsters out there, man, that are hustling and trying to get the gig, man, that first paid gig you will remember that forever, you know, because that's the one that's going to set up the rest of your life, if you will. So yeah, that one set up my life, man, and it just followed it from there, and it grew and it grew and it grew and it continued to grow. And one day I was, I was playing the working with Jimmy Joe's blues band down at the VFW, and I said, you know what, bro, I can't do this anymore, man. I got to go to the city. So I packed my truck, kissed my mama goodbye, and I drove myself to Los Angeles. Didn't know anybody, I had $10 when I got here, bro. But I made it work. You know, I slept in my truck for 7 months while I figured it out. You know,
7 months you slept in your truck?
Yeah, I was camping. It was fine. I wasn't homeless, bro. And
that's
thinking
the dedication, dude.
Thinking back on it now, man, I was homeless. I was what here they call unhoused, whatever. But I was homeless, but I didn't feel like that, bro. I felt like I was camping. I had a great time. I met a lot of cool people. I would hang out at Guitar Center on Sunset because that's where, you know, the Eagles were singing about the Sunset Grill. And so I'm like, I'm going to go hang out over
Guitar
there.
Center.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I met so many cool people. And my first gig, I met a guy. He was a drummer. And I met a guy. What was the band? The Danny Wilde Band. He was the drummer in the Danny Wilde Band. He goes, bro, you're pretty. I volunteered a show that he was working on. He goes, bro, you're pretty good. You want to come on a little short tour with us? We're going to Colorado and Oregon. It's like, cool.
And of course, you're still living in your truck at this point, so you're like, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's hit it.
Let's go.
So we go, and dude, the Danny Wilde Band turned into what you youngsters now know as the Rembrandts, and they wrote a little theme song for a television show called Friends, which was pretty big. Bro, I was in the studio when they recorded that song, man. It was pretty cool. It was a fun time, you know. It was one of those moments where you look back. It wasn't that exciting then. It was like, all right, I'm getting paid to work with the drummer in the studio. But then you look back, you're like, holy shit, that was that song. That's where it came from, and I was there. It's pretty cool.
It's a little piece of history that you were present in that moment for. So you've made this origin story sound so so obviously things progressed from there, and you know, you've worked on a ton of records, you've opened up your own studio and all that. What is can you think of any one particular time throughout all of this that was extremely hard? What are some hardships that you dealt with?
Oh, hardships, bro. All this? Let me tell y'all something. Again, when I was living in my truck, I wasn't homeless. I was having a great time. But looking back, yeah, that was a hardship, you know, but not really, because I was having a great time. It wasn't really, come on, man. I was young, not married, no connections. You know what I mean? Just meeting whoever and hanging out and partying with whatever, whenever. I mean, we're talking the 80s at this point, the early 80s at this point. You know, I don't know if y'all have any recollection of the 80s, but come on. It was a party, man. LA, there's some documentaries you can look at. I think one's called The Sunset Strip or something like that. You find it on YouTube, but it's all about that time in the rock and roll industry on Sunset. Man, on Friday and Saturday night, bro, it was like there was no social media, there was no internet. The way that bands got you to come to their show is they would come to the Sunset Strip and hand out flyers. Everybody
Yeah,
had
physical
features.
flyering on
Yeah,
foot.
it was
I did
cool.
that, but
It
even
was a cool
in
time.
like 2014, 2015, 2016, I
Yeah,
was still doing that. I still think that if you can make a connection with somebody face to face, if you can look somebody in the eyes, say, I want you to come to my event, and you hand them a
absolutely.
flyer, you convince them, there is such
Yeah.
a higher, you don't have to worry about click through rate or how many impressions or
Right,
what your
right,
conversion rate is. You're
man.
going to get people to come to your show.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was a crazy time, man. It was nothing but like Aquanet and leather pants. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. But everybody smelled like Marlboros and Jack Daniels. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, it's
But
kind of interesting too, because I used to love going and hanging out on the Sunset Strip at the Whiskey A Go Go just for the
yep,
history alone. And then we'd start there. We would hit Rainbow Room afterwards,
the
and we
Roxy.
would Roxy, yep,
Yep,
Viper Room.
yep.
Oh
Yeah, I
man,
mean, I got a lot of gigs. I mean, when I wasn't on tour, I would hang out at these venues, and I had a lot of connections in that game. So a band might ask me to come mix their show at the Troubadour, or come mix their show at the Whiskey, or mix their show at there was a big club at the end of that strip called Gazari's. It's not there anymore. But man, they had three different levels. The main stage was on. This is a great story. Actually. The main stage was on the main floor, and they had another club upstairs, another one downstairs. I was working for a band. I was mixing a band called Love Hate, which we were opening for Aerosmith at the time on a tour. And we had like a week off. Aerosmith had to go do something else, shoot a video or something. So we were playing a show at Gazari's. The opening band for that gig, their sound guy didn't show up. And I mixed their shit. They asked me to mix their show. I was like, oh yeah, I got y'all.
you were
So
there at
buy
the
so
right
buy,
place at
buy
the
me a
right
meal or
time.
something, So and that guy, the guitar player from that band was called Hellion. And the guitar player from that band, I just finished a record with him this year. I've done 2 albums with this guy. He remembered me. He came back it hired me as a producer and a mixer and an engineer to make his records. And it's a really good record. I'm really proud of it.
That's a very full circle thing too.
Man, I'm telling you, it was like he was. I mean, I don't even really remember him from that gig, but I do remember the band
But he
from that
remembered
gig.
you. That's all that
He
matters there,
remembered
right?
me, and that was the thing. He remembered me being a mix guy on that show, and he never forgot that. So, I mean, that's a full circle moment, man. That's what you're saying. Yeah, I got
That's
you.
so sick, man. That's so
Yeah, it's
sick.
crazy. So,
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, so you've talked about how you were living in your truck and all these things. Are there any other is there anything else that sticks out to you where it was a specifically hard point? Like whenever I don't know, like
Yeah, man, one thing y'all need to know. One thing, youngsters coming up, bro. I mean, yeah, y'all got access to everything right now. But the one thing you got to remember when you're coming up and you're doing this and you want to do this for a living, bro, learn about business. Understand that what you're doing right now is a business and treat it as a business. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's girls, there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of cool stuff, but treat it as a business. Make it your business and grow it as a business. And you'll do fine. I mean, seriously. That was one of the things that I look back now and I wish I would have learned more about that earlier on, because I'm like now I own a studio and I'm having to figure out what QuickBooks is.
now your
What are
P&L sheets are
taxes,
a
man?
thing and tax write-offs and
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, I saw smoke and then a candle just burned out. That's all.
oh, okay. Oh,
Sorry. It was
not
a
what you
scary
want to
moment
see
there for
inside of a
1 second.
studio.
I was like, oh shit, smoke.
So yeah, no, that's actually a really, really good tip.
Yeah.
I wish I had. I mean, I started out in EDM, and I mean, I primarily am an EDM producer and DJ. So it's like, in EDM, I feel like much like in rock, there's plenty of,
It's
there's plenty of
fillers.
temptations everywhere. You have to have your main temptation has to be growing what you're doing as a business if you want it to be your job. So 100%.
100, bro. That's whatever genre you're in. Okay, rap has its cool stuff, and rock's got its cool stuff. EDM's got its cool things, and EDM seems a little more disciplined than say hip hop. You know
Which
what I
is,
mean?
I think, kind of ironic considering the
Yeah,
themes and the imagery and like the overall culture. You would think that they'd be a little more relaxed compared to other pockets of the music industry,
yeah.
but no, man,
No,
take it very seriously. Like you
yeah,
can't show up to your gigs intoxicated. You can't
no,
show up fucked up. Like it's not
yep.
gonna work. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, I have hired engineers and I have definitely fired engineers, and because of things like that, showing up to the gig stoned, showing up to the gig drunk. You can't, bro. You're representing me and my brand, and you're gonna come over here and you're gonna be high. You're gonna go get high with my client? No, that's not gonna
you
go over.
also have to realize, and this is more of me talking to the viewers, you have to realize that in the music industry, whack by association is so real. If you trust somebody and you get them a gig and then they get trashed and fumble the bag, that's a bad reflection on you. And then likewise, if you do that to somebody else, you're making whoever recommended you look whack.
Yep.
And it's something that can kill you in terms of career momentum faster than almost anything else, I feel like.
Yeah, and you and Hitman had talked about this on your podcast, and I totally agree 100%, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna trust you to work with my client, bro, I mean, yeah, you better be on your game.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
reason that I'm asking you to work with my client because I trust you and I know that you can do the gig, you know,
Exactly.
and please do. So, and then there's that,
So
the whole thing with that is also a new guy may feel like he's not worthy. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that you are worthy and I'm asking you to work with my client. So do a good job, you
yeah,
know?
I feel like sometimes that like that almost falls into like maybe a self-sabotage type thing where if somebody doesn't feel like they're deserving of a gig, maybe they're a little bit more aloof, maybe they're a little bit more likely to make bad decisions. I
It's
don't
that
know. I'm
imposter
not a
syndrome.
psychologist.
It's an imposter syndrome. I mean, you feel like, hey, I have it, you have it, everybody has it to some degree. Where I don't feel like, oh, you're asking me to do a gig. I'm not. Why are you asking me, man? I'm not that good. But yeah, you are, and that's why they're asking you to do it. My first gig, bro, when I came, talking about coming in the studio. I actually went to school to learn Pro Tools. I saw Pro Tools coming out as the leader in 2002. I saw Pro Tools starting to pick up steam and
That's
be the
right. It
leader.
picked up big steam quick
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So I'm like, bro, I need to learn this. If I'm gonna stay in this game, I got to learn this stuff. So I actually went to school at Abbott to become a certified engineer, which we could talk about that too if you want. Um, I spent a
Hey,
lot
we
of
got
money and
time.
a lot of time figuring that out. All right, trying to do that thing. So my first gig that I was offered after getting my certification, yeah, okay, I knew what the button did on the thing, but I didn't know why I was going to be pressing the button. I didn't get any experience of why I would be pressing the button. So my first gig coming out of that, I didn't answer the phone because I didn't feel worthy of answering the phone.
So
So
did you feel like even though they taught you sort of what the button was, but maybe not why to use it, did you feel like that you may have left this certification maybe needing to know more than what you got?
100%, bro. I mean, this was the cool part about Recording Connection is that they were placing the students in the studio working with me to
Yeah.
know why they were pressing that button. Not only which button to press, but why they were pressing it.
Yeah, see, that's one
And
thing I
that was
always
the
admired
coolest
about
part.
them. It was
Yeah.
always really, really cool because I knew if I sent a student to yourself or, to like, Ricky, Studio 713, Mark Christensen, Engine Room Audio, if I sent a student to these studios, we referred to you guys as I don't know if this ever made its way to you, but we referred to you guys as the Titan Studios because you guys had the cleanest track records, the most students, the kind of the cooler stories coming from students being working with you outside studio. We knew the students were in good hands. There was a specific list of studios
Mm.
where if a student was placed in that area, if their interests lined up, if we could make that connection, we knew it was a safe bet. And you were one of those studios for sure.
Yeah, it never got to me because they know that they probably figured I might ask for a raise.
I don't know if we can go there. I would love to, but
Yeah, let's not. Let's
no.
not. I was told not to by the boss lady. So,
Let's
um,
let's
yeah, let's
let's
not.
actually okay, so I do actually want to ask you though a little bit about
Yeah.
your teaching philosophy and everything. So how
Yes.
many you've taught for was Recording Connection where you started teaching?
Yes. I started with them in 2004. So,
Okay.
and you know what's really funny? I almost said the other F word, but you know what's really funny about that? And I wrote it down today because I spoke to this guy yesterday. My very first student, his name was Mark Ellis. We spoke yesterday. So this is a connection that I made in 2004, and we're still hanging out. We're still talking to each other. We're still working together, basically. My very first student.
That is
And we're still hanging out.
honestly that warms my heart because I have the same thing going on right now with a handful of my students. If someone's, if somebody is being taught by me, I'm showing them the ropes on how to do this, and then they go out and they really put it to the test and they really go out and get it. Like, I want to keep in touch.
Oh,
That's, I
bro.
think, something that's different from how Recording Connection did it, how I'm hoping we at Ascendry all can do it this way. But it's like,
Absolutely, and that's the philosophy of it, man. So
yeah, when you
that's the
go
way
to
I'm
a
coming into
school,
that. That's the way I'm coming into Ascendry, is to bring that passion and bring that idea. Okay, now, yeah, we're gonna do this virtually. We're gonna do it over Zoom or however we're gonna do it. But I mean, the passion's still there. We're still there to hold your hand and show you how to press the button. Not only how to press the button, but why you're pressing the damn button.
yeah,
You know,
and that's the
and
schools will teach you whatever's in the book, and then it's like they'll just kick you out the front door with your piece of paper afterwards, and you are
bro,
never gonna
come
hear
on.
from your professors again.
Let me ask you
But
this, man. Being on the other side, being on the so let's say the admin side of that before you came into the mentor side of it. How many of these students were like, well, I can't really do anything just yet, bro, because I haven't got my certificate. I got to wait till I get my certificate till I do the thing. No, I can't. I can't.
um
I can't go do the thing because I don't have my certificate.
It was
Mm.
I tried to tell all of the students coming into the school, as well as my own students, that yes, it's nice to have the piece of paper because it makes a nice decoration in your house. But really, once you learn the skill set, once you have a portfolio of music, once you've developed a business acumen that warrants being offered gigs, that is you can go out and do it. And it doesn't, I mean, I always told my students low key, it doesn't matter if you get the piece of it.
Yeah, no, the piece of paper is it means nothing. And if you need a piece of paper to stick on your refrigerator with your name on it, I'll send you one.
Not
That's
the
cool.
not the
I'll,
refrigerator.
I'll write your name on a piece of paper and send it on over. But yeah, that's not what it's about, man. It's about understanding what you're doing and why you're doing it, and your worth of knowing how to do that. That's another big thing, man. Is talked to a student yesterday. I was doing a Zoom with a student yesterday, and his thing was, oh man, I don't know if I can. I don't know, man. I kind of want to charge like $25. I was like, no, you meant to say $50, bro, didn't you? Come on, man.
I
Don't
think
charge
that
$25. Don't go cheap.
I think the
Raise
price
your prices.
is what is your budget? Did you have a budget in mind? Question mark.
Yeah,
That's
raise
what
your
I always
prices,
ask.
bro. Raise your prices. Seriously. Well, don't go because the minute you go, I'm only $25. Then somebody looks at you and goes, oh, he's only $25. He can't be that good.
If you
You know.
label yourself as cheap, you're going to get treated like you're cheap.
Absolutely, man.
And I always tell my students, first of all, don't go that low. Second of all, it's like if you can, a nice little way to kind of see what ballpark somebody's sitting in is, hey, was there a certain budget you were trying to keep this project within? Question mark.
Yeah,
Because depending on how they answer that question, that can tell you, I don't know, you may want to charge 50, but what if they're about to offer you 150? You never know. You really never know. I've had a few projects where, I had to kind of work with them to find a compromise, and then it might be a little bit over, a little bit under what I'm trying to get. But I've also had the occasional one where I would have told them for like a full-fledged, mix and master stem by stem, I would probably charge like 100 for this, and somebody would offer 200. I'm like, I
yeah,
wouldn't have asked that because I would feel arrogant asking 200
yeah,
bucks. But you
yeah.
you never know. If you give somebody the chance to surprise you, sometimes they will.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, during the shutdown stuff that we all went through, it was tough because everybody was trying to do the same thing. So there was like a pricing war going on, man, and everybody was like,
Oh, yeah, I
"Yeah."
remember
This
that.
other guy said he could do it for 25. I said, "Well, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna do it for 25, bro. I'm 400. You want me to do it? I got you."
And
So,
how many of those people did you have anybody come back to you afterwards being like, "Man,
oh
sorry, I should have gotten with you
yeah,
instead."
all of them. When they came back, now my price just went up, bro, because I know you went to the other guy, and now you're coming back. So now it's
Yeah.
500.
Yeah,
So
see,
yeah,
it's like I know this with so many different things, even outside of audio, like the video animation side of things. Like in electronic music, there's this huge. It's a pretty competitive space, the live show visuals space,
right,
and
right.
you can get like kind of lower than par tier quality visuals for like a really low price point, and then your live show doesn't look as good for that very reason. But you save up a little bit of extra scratch, you go with somebody who's really really good, and then you don't have to. You're actually going to save money in the long run by
Yeah.
going with quality first.
And then once you find somebody that knows your show and knows you and understands your needs, you're gonna pay them because that's what they're worth. You
Yeah.
know, and you're going to try to keep them. Yeah, definitely pay their rate. Like my mastering guy, bro, I've been using the same mastering guy for 15 years because he's really good at what he does. He's affordable for me, you know, and he understands my mixes. So I understand how he does his thing. So he understands how I send him things. So we've been working together for a long, yeah, every project I do, I send to that guy,
And
you know.
if you have the puzzle piece that fits that well, it's like,
Just
don't
let me
shake
know.
a stick at it. You know, this is one for the viewers. Like, if you know of somebody that you work well, that you match with, don't don't necessarily go looking for the next person to kind of one up them on it, because it's like, it's really actually hard in the grand scheme of things to find somebody that you work with well enough to work with for 15
Yeah, because
years,
then
right?
you gotta start all over again and train them again. You know, it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like I've had the same guy for my BLAQOUT project,
Mhm.
BLAQOUT dubstep on everything. Basically, I've had 3 different logos now over the last, like, 10 years, and it's sort of evolved with the time and with the sound and whatever, but I've always hit the same guy up and been like, "Yo, Scott, I need to do a logo revision, let's do it." Drop out graphic design, he's done all my logos, and it's not gonna when I do another one, it's gonna probably be him too, so.
Yeah, I mean, AI is not coming at that guy. AI is not like trying to jump on
Oh,
his game.
he hand draws his stuff out.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
he's really good. Like, maybe I'll clip this down into a short and actually, like, paste on, examples of the logos, because he literally draws them up by hand. I don't think AI could do it personally.
yeah. I mean, no, I mean, if it's personal and it's for you, yeah, AI is not going to do it for you. You know, but yeah, I mean, we've seen AI coming at the music business, but I
I
heard
like
today
it
that
doing the stuff I don't like to do, like the business side.
oh
I
yeah, no,
like
no,
it
no, no,
sorting
yeah,
things and
I
coming up with
utilize
post
it.
schedules,
I
you know?
utilize it where I can. You know, it's like I've got my AI's name is Chad. I've given him a name. We hang out. You know, we talk. We
Oh, the
have
voice
beers.
AI functions are crazy.
No, it's
Crazy.
no, but no, he helps out with with my calendar. You know, he'll write an email sequence if I don't feel like it, and then I'll just tweak it from there. You know, no big deal. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not dealing with the music side of things, man. It's I heard today that Udio is not going to be around very much longer. Suno, might take a little bit longer to get rid of that one, but uh, you know,
Hopefully Suno's gone soon. I meant it whenever I posted a reel on my BLAQOUT page on Instagram. Because their advertisements are all like before Suno, and it's like an okay song. And then they're like after
yeah,
Suno, and it's just like
it's the same.
AI trash garbage every single time.
Yeah,
But they're like trying to point it out like Suno improved their work. No, it made a version of the work that
yeah,
is not really yours. And I did a video, I said before Suno, and it was a recent flip I did of Fireball by Sudden Death and Marshmello, Crown the Empire. And it was like after Suno, and it was just straight diarrhea noises.
yeah.
Like
It's it's a novelty, man. It's fun. You know, I've played with Suno. It's fun. You
it's
know, let's make a
funny,
stupid
yeah.
song about rednecks and trucks and
A
but
novelty. That's a good way to
yeah, it's
put
a
it.
novelty. So yeah, but it's not gonna it can't last, man. It'll never replace me and you. You know, it can't. So
That's very reassuring. That makes me feel a little bit less scared for the
yeah,
future.
so
So thank you.
youngsters thinking about coming into the game, yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's no competition for us. Don't worry about it. We're here. We're here to
So
teach.
how many students do you think you've taught
Oh
since
my
you
god.
started
Yeah,
teaching? Like, do
it's
you have
gotta
a
be
number?
upwards. It's gotta be upwards of 500. I asked one time and they said, "Well, we didn't start counting until like 2009." You know. Yeah, it's gotta be upwards of 500. Easy, you
That's
know.
actually I would believe that too, because Alex was saying that his number was
Yeah.
in the 400s, but he was sort of on the academic internal with the
Yeah, but
school side.
look, he was he I don't wanna say he was my backup man, but he was my partner in that with my students.
Oh, he
You
was
know,
for me too. It was
he
him and
would
Sam Zolfer. They
really
were like, yeah,
yeah, I
dude.
mean, they were invaluable, bro. I mean, because they were there doing basically the admin or the book work, and then we were doing the practical. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was a
So I did.
nice, it
Yeah,
was a
it
really nice chemistry.
was a great
It was
partnership.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we would talk
So,
all the time, and
yeah.
I reached out to him after your podcast. You might have seen it on Ascendry, but on the Discord.
Oh,
But I
right,
said,
yeah.
bro, I didn't know that was you. I didn't know the hitman was Alex. And I was like, oh, bro, what's up, man? Let's go have
Yeah.
coffee. Let's hang out. Because I think he lives in Burbank, right?
I
I think he's
think
in Burbank.
so. I
Yeah,
or it's
I'm
either
pretty sure.
that or like southwest area of LA. I can't remember,
No, no,
but
no. We're gonna hang out. Though. We're gonna go. We're gonna go get
yeah.
together. One.
Same
So
city.
Yeah,
So
got to.
I miss it out there, man. Like I love Kansas City, but man, I cannot wait. I was this close to taking a gig out in LA at the end of this month, and I'm sad because I love a gig and I love the dude throwing the gig, but it just didn't pan out. But I'm part of me is just a little bit bent that I
I don't
don't
know,
get to go
man.
out to my
I'm
my
still
home.
I'm still envious though. You guys in the Midwest, bro. It's like, come on, man. It would be a lot slower, but yeah, it would be a lot slower.
It's an
So
adjustment period.
there's that.
Waking
Yeah,
up at 7 a.m. and being go, 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 6 if I wanted some extra time to chill,
yeah,
and then being literally on my feet going all the way until 10 p.m. and then
yeah,
doing it the next day and doing that for months on end. And at the time I was living in LA, so yes, I was working in the office of Recording Connection, but I was also traveling on the weekends. I was doing a tour for about 4 weeks out of that. And so I went probably 5, 6 weeks without a single day off. Like I
yeah.
don't miss the tiredness, the existential just drain
Well,
of it,
I mean,
but it also trained me a lot. It taught me how hard you have to work to do this shit.
but it's not. But then again, man, I mean, what we do is not that we're not digging ditches. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we hate our jobs.
No,
You know?
no,
So
but the thing is, it's like if you want to work a job that you love like this, you're probably gonna have to put a lot of hours into it. So with that tired is a different tired, like
yeah,
when I was working retail, I
definitely
was
other good
doing
way to
like
say it.
warehouse stuff. I hated that. That was the tired. That was not the fun tired.
Yeah,
But if you ever have like a really long studio session or like you play a really good gig and then the travel drains you or whatever, that's a different tired. That's that tired where like you're nodding off and you're just
yeah. That's why God made tour buses, bro, with drivers. So you know,
um,
yeah, you just go get the bottle and go in the back lounge and finish finish
oh
the
my
day.
god.
So maybe
So
I'm talking a different time. So we're talking different times, man. So
I never got the whole I did do some, tour bus hangouts, but not too many because they're starting
yeah,
to like touring economy and travel costs and all that started to turn, to where on the EDM side of things, bus tours stopped being as common because anymore you had like DJs hopping Spirit Airlines flights to save costs.
yeah.
Like you had your higher up headliners, I'm sure were flying private, but it economically did not make sense to do a bus tour. I'm sad I never got to. Hey, anybody wants to bring me on a bus tour, hit me up. Anyone
Let's
watching
do
this?
it. Yo, let's just do an Ascendry bus tour, man.
Oh, let's
Come on,
do it.
let's
That
go.
would actually be
Take turns driving.
I think you have to have a special license. Do you have to have a CDL for that?
No, man, it's a
You
bus. You
don't?
just go. Yeah,
You
no,
just
you just
go?
go. Yeah,
Oh,
just
that's
get in.
cool. It's
It's
crazy.
like a big RV. Let's do it.
So, with all of the students you've taught, and this is something that I'm really excited to hear your answers to this. I was really excited to hear Alex's answers to this. Can you think of any like success stories
Oh
with your
yes,
students? What are some
very
good
much
ones?
so. Yeah, dude. There's quite a few standouts. Let's just start with the obvious morning Estrada. I mean, come on, dude. Seriously, if you're watching this morning, you owe me lunch, bro.
We got to
So
send this to him.
yeah. Now that kid, man, I knew that kid when he was first in the studio. When he first came to me, I was like, this guy, he has the gift. He's got the thing. He's got the DNA. And I think in our initial interview, in our discovery interview with Morning, I asked him, I said, bro, why do you want to do this? He said, I like music. I said, no, everybody likes music. Why do you want to do this? He says, I like music and I want to know how it's done. I want to know why it's done. I was like, all right, cool. We're gonna hang out. And man, that kid, how many Grammys has he got now? I mean, 6. Come on.
I don't know. I haven't been
Seriously.
keeping track. I just knew it was
Man,
multiple.
man, yeah, it's multiple. Some of them are Latin Grammys, but bro, a Latin Grammy is still a Grammy. I don't care.
If you get a
It's still
Grammy of any kind, you're top of the top.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's.
Like mine's only on paper, My
I was gonna say
Grammy is
you've got a Grammy, right?
it's right there, yeah. But it's
What's
only
the
a certificate. The category we were in wasn't we don't get statues.
hmm.
So it
Well,
was
what's the track? What did you get the Grammy for?
embarrassing, but that's fine. Best musical theater album. Yes. Do I look like a musical theater kid?
No, but I also understand the nuances and the complexities of musical theater, and that's anybody
Yeah,
who
no,
knows musical theater knows that's pretty impressive.
yeah, we won it as the record was done at the studio. So the studio won. I didn't win a Grammy personally. The studio won a Grammy.
Hey,
But it's
but
my
still be
studio.
a part of it. It's
You
like,
know. Yeah.
dude. you
Yeah,
know?
we recorded everything and mixed everything in our studio. So it was
That's super sick, man.
the artist was Barlow and Bear, and the project was uh what was it? The unofficial musical of I gotta go look at it. You can
I was
edit.
gonna say, yeah, you got no, we'll keep it in. We'll keep this on an SRL.
I didn't wanna mess up the name. The unofficial Bridgerton musical. So
Okay, that's
I
sick.
didn't wanna
I'm gonna have to
screw up
tell
the
my
name.
wife about this. She likes
Never seen that
Bridgerton.
show, but I've never seen the show. I don't plan to see the show, but it's the unofficial Bridgerton musical.
It's
But
still sick
yeah.
though. So, okay, so we got Morning Estrada.
Yeah. Oh,
That is
and
an
dude,
obvious one.
one of our mentors here on Ascendry, Uriel Soto Jr.
Uriel Soto, that's
Shout out.
right.
Yeah, I
Junior,
mean that
what's
dude,
good?
that dude, bro. Let me tell you about it. And if you guys are looking to work with an awesome mentor who's not only one of the greatest musicians that I've ever met, but one of the greatest engineers. He's just got the ear. You know what I mean? He understands it. And man, he was a standout as well. I mean, this kid, bro, this dude, he was a tow truck driver when he came to me. He was busting his ass 10 hours a day, and then he'd come to the studio at night, and then he never left for like 9 years. He didn't leave. He just stayed on, and
What was he
he
doing? Was
worked.
he just like sleeping in the stairwell or what?
Yeah,
Like,
no, he just and he worked with us for such a long time, and then it was time to grow and go build his own, and so it was awesome, man. It was a great ride, and he's a great dude. Uh, so he speaks Spanish, he's fluent in Spanish, so it was really helpful in that area as well. So great dude, man. What a great player. I mean, just piano, guitar, bass, vocals, bro. This kid, he did it all, man. Great dude, really knows his stuff, and you guys should be really happy that he's here on Ascendry. And I don't know if he's got the discovery thing turned on, but somebody should ask him to turn it on, and y'all go check him out, bro. He knows his stuff.
I don't think he does have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the Discovery Call
Yeah,
feature on. But I will say, just
talking him to
having
it.
known him and talked to him,
Mm,
and in the very limited capacity of which I've worked with him,
yeah,
he's worth every penny. Just
yeah.
as people should, if you're looking to learn music production, audio engineering, anything of that nature, hit up Donny on Ascendry. He's got the free consult. He's got the Discovery Call option on. So
Me?
check him
Yeah, I
out.
do. Yeah, I do. I enjoy the discovery call because it's a chance for us to get to meet and know each other. Y'all can see my you get a chance to see my teaching style, which
Yeah.
I'm a no bullshit guy, bro. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything for you. This is a rough business, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you at all. That's doing you a disservice if I tell you, oh, this is great, man. You should come over. Yeah, just give me your money and I'll teach you how to do stuff. No, if you don't want to work with me, I don't want your money. Don't give me your money. So that's
And
why the discovery call is such a great idea.
well, it's
Yeah.
huge because not only, of course, the mentor gets to vet the apprentice, but the apprentice sort of gets that familiarity with the mentor, so they
Before
understand
spending
what
the
you're
money.
about.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not cheap. I don't think I'm the most expensive guy in Ascendry, but I'm not cheap. I'm not going to lower my prices because I know what I'm worth.
Well, and at the end of the day, too, people understand. Like, I try to explain this to people, and I think we're doing a good job of conveying it. But it's like if you really want to learn how to do the thing, you got to learn from somebody who's active, somebody who's got history.
Bro, you know what? And there's a way to say that. The way that I say it is that, bro, I've already made the mistakes. Let me show you how to not make the mistakes I've made.
Bingo.
You
That's
want
a
to go from
huge
point
one.
A to point B? Let's get you there faster because I've already done it.
Yeah.
And
I
that's the
made a
thing. Yeah.
mistake when I was 9, 10 years in, even more in, and I'm about to celebrate my 15th year producing music, and I take on students who, like, I help them install Ableton. It's like for the
Yep.
first time, and it's I teach them, hey, don't make this mistake, don't make this huge mistake that set me back. Like, so no, that's very, very valid. That's a
Yeah,
super good way of putting
that's
that.
why we're here, man. And
So
part of my life is to make sure that the next generation continues this as an art because what we do is an art form. It doesn't matter what part of the business of music that you're in. It's an art, and I'm going to share with you how to do the art for money. And if you want to go in full time on doing this, bro, quit your day job. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, you might go hungry. Yeah, all right, you might. All right, there was one thing you were talking about a hardship. Let me tell you a hardship. Okay, a hardship when I first, and then I was no longer living in the truck. I had moved into an apartment with a couple other dudes, and there was a Christmas, and this guy and I are still friends. We still hang out. I think I met this guy when I was 20, 24. and we're still friends today. We were sitting. Do you guys have Circle K stores? It's like a 7-Eleven.
It's kind of an East Coast thing, I think. When I lived on the East Coast, Circle K was. I went
No, we
there
had
too,
Circle
East
K's
and
here.
West too. Not in the Midwest. We don't have it in the Midwest. I don't
We had
think.
Circle K's. We had a Circle K here. It was like kind of like a 7-Eleven. This dude and I. It was Christmas Day, and we were sitting outside of a Circle K, and we had bought one of those cheap ass hamburgers that you get at the Circle K, and we had cut it in half, and that was our Christmas dinner. And
Oh man, I used to get those at the Arco. Arco's got something similar.
we looked at each other, and I said, bro, I can't do this anymore. I'm not. I don't want to be this. There's got to be more than this. And from that moment forward, bro, it was a move up and a Ascendry up. If you
I see what you
segue.
did there. Now I have a
No, and that was
similar.
the moment. But that was everybody's got that moment where they say, this is it. I'm going that way. And we go. And that was my moment. And that was that dude's moment too. That dude, what he does today, he owns a company that does projection, video walls behind you. He's the guy
Oh,
that
nice.
rents the video walls to y'all.
A lot of people don't understand that at every EDM concert, every festival, what you wind up with is those video walls, and people don't realize that there's usually somebody, sometimes even several somebodies back there controlling all of that, designing the lighting and the way everything reacts while the DJ's playing.
Yeah, I got lighting guy stories from the road, man. Whew. Let's
Those
not go
guys are
there.
also, I feel
let's not
like
do that.
lighting guys and like front of house guys can also sometimes be some of the most chaotic people you'll meet.
They hate each other, bro. We can't stand those guys. But
Oh, man.
I was pretty rarely a front of house guy. I mostly did monitors, mainly because I like getting fired. No, monitors. In case you guys don't know, or not necessarily the in-ears. I got out right when in-ears were coming in. My last tour was one of my last tours with Madonna in 1987, and in-ears were just coming there. First gig with in-ears, but I didn't. With Madonna, I did monitors for the band, and they were all on wedges. They were all on speakers. So my last tour was actually Michael Bolton, and he was on wedges. I was monitor guy for Michael Bolton for 3 tours.
That's pretty sick.
It was all right. I met my chick. That's where I met my wife.
Hey, that's even cooler.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Some little podunk town in Indiana or some shit, but it's fine. No, and that's one of the stories I was gonna tell was I think one of the things you were gonna ask was what's the one thing that you ask everybody?
Oh, so we're actually, that's going to be, it's funny you mentioned this now because that was the next thing I was going to go into because
Okay. Well,
we
segue,
talked
bro.
about Morning Estrada, we talked about Junior.
Oh,
Before we
there's one
do,
other.
was there any other
there's
any other
Samuel
successes?
Garfield.
Samuel
Sam
Garfield.
Garfield. I don't know if you remember him. Super cool guy. He did the basic audio engineering. He also did the advanced audio engineering with me. That kid, man, he's gone on to do some he's a producer. He's an Ableton producer, but he does a lot of pop and K-pop. He's kind of getting big in the K-pop gang, in the K-pop game.
Okay.
He's getting a lot of placements there. He's doing really well. He and I had lunch together the beginning of the summer. He was out here in LA. He lives in New York now, but he was out here in LA and we got together. Super cool guy, just so talented. I mean, I've been blessed to work with some super talented students from Recording Connection. Taylor Cromie, bro, shout out to Taylor, man. He was part of he lived in Palisades, and he kind of lost everything.
Oh,
And
man.
so shout out to that dude. But that dude, bro, I mean, the hustle in that kid, bro, just unbelievable, man. Just that guy.
It's always
Super
cool when we
talented.
get to see, like, because I've had a couple of those myself where it's, where you really see somebody take what you're showing them how to do in stride, and then they really make it their lifeblood and they do it. They put in the reps and they get the grind in, and then you watch them accomplish the things they were talking about, like dreaming of doing when they first met you, and then you see that they're out here doing it. It's something else. Like I have a student, Scarlet Widow, Fabi Taylor. She is one of the coolest pictures I saw of her recently was playing in front of Radius. So it was Radius Chicago. She opened for Cranked At and Wooly. It was an Insomniac event. Insomniac does like EDC, and you just, the crowd size, like I remember when she was in Recording Connection learning from myself and Sam, and then fast forward to now, and it's like she went and did that. Shout out Scarlet Widow.
Yeah, I remember seeing her on all their socials. and doing
Oh yeah.
great stuff. And that's always exciting for any mentor from where we come from, and that's to see other students and other mentors doing good stuff. I mean, look at Uncle Joey, bro. Uncle Joe, how many students did Uncle Joey crank out? You know what
Oh
I mean?
man, that's
So,
somebody we need to get
bro,
not
that
only
that
on
guy was the
Ascendry,
the
but on the
original
podcast.
gangster. You got to get him on the podcast, bro.
Oh, we
That
got
dude
it.
was the original gangster. He was what? Shit, I thought I was cool, man. Working for teaching with Recording Connection for 20 years plus. He was like 34 years in.
Like
He was like the
basically the
first
entire
dude, man.
time the school, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, cause the school, so Jimmy Petula, the founder and the president of the school, for anybody listening who doesn't know, I was speaking with him probably about 6 months ago, and I remember him telling me that back when Recording Connection Audio Institute was just doing radio and we're just kind of getting into recording, they were mainly just LA based. And then pretty much as soon as they branched out and did some East Coast stuff, Joey Heyer, Uncle Joey, came into the fold.
Yeah. He still calls me, man. He still calls me.
Joey, come
Yeah,
hang with us. Come to Ascendry,
He's
please.
still calling me, going, Donny, how you doing, man? He's such a character. So
But well, so and this is something I think we're ready. Are we ready to segue into crazy times? Are we?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
what if I have more than one though? I mean, there's that.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not on a time crunch unless you are. Like, so the last thing I've been getting into with everyone that comes on this podcast is wild times, crazy industry stories. Let's start with this. What is your craziest industry story that you're allowed to tell?
You told me about this. I saw it on the thing, and I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can categorize these into the wildest because they're all pretty. There's a lot. I mean, we need a whole nother hour just to go through this stuff, bro.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it.
Well, the wildest. Come on, man. See, now I'm like, whatever.
Maybe we could even do like a top 3.
Top 3. All right. Well, there's the time. I can't really mention names on this one because it'll tell, and I can't really tell. All right. This was when I was touring. I was working with a band. I'm not even gonna tell you the band because then you'll be able to figure it out. We did there's an island here near Los Angeles called Catalina Island. Okay, and they have a jazz festival there every summer. And we were playing the Catalina Jazz Festival, and we missed the ferry. Well, first of all, we missed the ferry with all the equipment. We were late. There's never traffic in LA, right? But we were late getting to the ferry, so we missed the ferry with all the gear. So we had to strap the gear to the back of this like speedboat to get to the island. That was funny. But
and that's not, if anybody here is not from LA, it's not like Catalina is just a short swim. It's a trek.
No, dude, it's 14 miles, I think.
Yeah. And you do that on a speedboat with gear strapped to it.
That was hard. But then, so after the show that night, we spent the night. We all had hotels. One of the musicians, I'm not even gonna tell you which musician because you might be able to figure it out. But one of the musicians and I got like super drunk, like stupid, sloppy. And he was missing his girlfriend, so he wanted to go back to the mainland to hang out with his girlfriend. So I'm like, hey bro, I'll take you. Let's go steal a boat. So we swim. There's a harbor there, and we stole a little boat to go steal a big boat to go back to LA.
So wait, you stole one boat so that you can get to the big boat? Yeah, we stole a
rowboat to get out to the bigger boat.
And you stole that to get to LA.
Steal that. And so we're trying to figure out how to start the boat. And these are understand, bro, these are just two like super drunk people. All right, we're trying to figure out how to start the boat. And there were people sleeping on the boat, and they woke up, and it was these two chicks. And it's really funny. It's not really funny, but it was funny. But in the end, the guy ended up marrying one of the girls that we met on the boat, and they're still married, and they've got like 3 kids, and he's a teacher, and he teaches music, and he still plays music a lot. So I can't really tell you who it is because you might figure it out.
Well, shout out, guy. Congratulations, guy.
But that was kind of funny. But I don't think that was like that. I don't think that was that wild. But yeah, it was pretty funny that we tried to steal a bunch of boats. But
just to make it to one destination.
I think the statute of limitations is over on that one. So
definitely. We could double check if you want. But
another one is I met this chick at a bar once, and I told her that night. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna marry you," and she's like, "Oh yeah, shut up, bro. Shut up. Get out of here. You're drunk." And if you want, we can go across the hall in there and ask her. That was 35 years ago. And,
wow, that's
So
That's
yeah,
so that's cool.
I met my chick. I met my chick when I was on tours. Shout out to my chick. So another. Oh, dude, I got arrested one time in Canada.
Arrested in Canada?
Yeah, and Canada, but Canada's cool. Canada's alright. We were again on a tour, and uh, the guy. It was a small tour. It was a box truck with all the gear in it, and then a 15-passenger van with the band in it. So we get to the border, and the guy in the truck, who's the tour manager, he's driving the truck. I was driving the van. He says, "Hey, I'm gonna take the band on to the hotel. You take the truck through customs, and I'll meet you at the hotel." I say, "Cool." So the at customs, they open up the truck and they check the stuff, and they're like, "Hey, what's in this box?" I'm like, "I don't know." It was contraband.
Oh,
And
no.
contraband, what they consider contraband is T-shirts and CDs. Anyway, there's I guess, a rule when you're going into Canada, you got to hire a broker and pay the tax in advance. And then if you don't sell all the stuff, then you get a refund, whatever. Anyway, they confiscated the truck. They put me in jail. We missed the show because the truck was confiscated, and it was a shit show, bro. It was
So
crazy.
you were arrested for smuggling contraband into Canada,
Bro, I have
and
a felony in Canada.
it
I
wasn't
have,
even like, I mean, when we say contraband, arrested, smuggling, that's not what we think, right? Like I think
no,
the
you think
brain
weed,
naturally
you think,
goes
yeah,
to
you think
somewhere else,
whatever.
right?
It wasn't
So
like Diet Dr. Pepper or something. It was T-shirts and CDs, bro. But
T-shirts and CDs.
they weren't on the list. They weren't on the manifest. So basically, they were trying to smuggle in T-shirts and CDs.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, so I can see how that might cause a problem if so you're saying Canada would tax you on the front end essentially and then refund
Yeah,
you if it was due?
I mean, that's how it's supposed to work. But the management company didn't do that. It wasn't me. I mean, I
No,
was,
you were just the guy driving
I'm
the
like,
truck.
I'm just driving the truck, bro. I'm just a low life roadie. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do have a felony in Canada now for that. But dude, Canada jail was cool. I was there for 3 days. I was in Canada jail for 3 days. It wasn't really a jail. It was like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. It was me and 2 other dudes in there. We were playing cards, and they bring food and beer. It was crazy. It was pretty cool.
Well, because I watch a lot of Trailer Park Boys, or I did
Woo!
anyways,
Come on, man.
and they would talk about jail like it was some like fun thing that
It
they were
was, yeah,
like,
it wasn't bad, man. It was
yeah.
pretty neat. The guards would come and ask if we wanted ice cream, and it was pretty cool. It
I
wasn't
mean,
bad.
I feel
They
like
were super nice.
you don't hear about that in the U.S. jails.
No, they were super nice, and whatever. But yeah, it was all right.
That's
Yeah,
wild
this
though. That's absolutely. I can't imagine being a roadie and then that's what winds up happening. Like, you just think you're doing your job. You just get the truck through the gate, like,
and then
and then
I had forgotten about the felony in Canada, and we were both in, and we were supposed to go into Canada, and I had forgot, and we get to the border, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to tell you, I have a felony in Canada. So man, everybody got like, they came in and brought the dogs on the bus. Everybody was really pissed off at me.
did they
So
even let you go? Did they even let you through?
yeah, they let me through, but it took a little extra incentives, if you will.
Oh, I'm
But
sure. Yeah. I
yeah, the
had to
next
I'm in the I can't go into Canada for a few more years because a long time ago, 2017 to be exact,
yeah.
I had a bit of a scuffle with the law and, that I guess is enough for Canada to be like,
Yeah,
"Nah,
they
man."
don't play, man. They don't play there. If you get a DUI in the United States, you're not supposed to go to Canada.
For me, it was a
So,
public intoxication charge.
oh, similar, I guess. I don't know.
They put that charge, at least per the legal professional that I spoke to in Canada, because I was trying to figure out if I could take this gig. It was supposed to be in
Mhm.
Montreal. It was supposed to be at La Belmont, which is like this amazing venue that a lot of EDM
Yep.
events are happening at. And it was supposed to be a sick time, but 3-4 months before the show,
Yeah.
there was no way for me to get the certificate in time. You have to get the criminal rehabilitation certificate. So I
Yep.
just could never take it. That was one of 3 gigs I had to turn down specifically in
Yep.
Montreal. So if
Yeah,
anybody's
you
watching
can't
in
go to
Montreal
Canada.
that likes dubstep, I've been trying to come play. I really have. It's just not
They
gonna
should come
happen
here.
for
It's easier for them to come here. So
Yeah, there you go.
do that.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
will say though, dude,
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, so maybe for tourism purposes, but whenever I was working to bring up a booking agency, we won't name them, but basically what we did, one of the things that we did to help artists get into the United States touring circuit was we would get their visas. We would invest in the visa costs and then recuperate. That way the artist can come in, one visa, 3 years, they're in, and it worked well. We did this for artists in Argentina. We did them so it was Argentina, Japan, United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, and there were some more, but Belgium. But you're never going to believe which one was the hardest to get visa approvals for. Canada.
Yeah, they don't play, man.
Yeah, it's tough because you would think like Canada and the United States are touching, so you wouldn't think that it would be such a. I mean, we can go and work up there relatively scot-free, but vice versa, it's a different story.
Not we, but not me.
Well, yeah.
I have a hard time getting in, but yeah, it's okay.
But so, well, cool, man.
That was crazy.
So, as far as wild times, crazy stories.
Yeah, there's a lot, bro. We should do this again on another, do a part 2.
We should.
And I'm sure there's a ton of stories that we both have that we can talk about that
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to really just motivate the Ascendry students and to any of the mentors that's got the discovery call turned on, bro. What are you waiting for, man? I mean,
they're literally volunteering their time.
Yeah, I'm volunteering time, but not only that, man. But there's who is it? The guy Matt, bro. I want to sign up with Matt, man. Come on, I want to talk to that guy.
Yeah, I mean, and so you look at Mac Woodward, you look at multiple Grammys, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Maroon 5. And then you also look at the fact that he was one of the Titan instructors, as we called you guys, at Recording Connection Audio Institute. So he not only knows how to do the thing, but he knows how to teach it. And that's something that is so important. And I feel like that's one of the reasons that we're lucky to have mentors like you and Mac and Junior. And, because a lot of you guys have experience teaching as well. So, I mean, not anybody, you can become a good producer and a good engineer.
Yeah,
but
not
sometimes
everybody can teach.
Not everyone can teach. Yeah.
Yeah. And then too, I mean, I'm not trying to scare anybody, bro, but I don't play. I'm not a bullshit guy. If
I need somebody to be straightforward.
And you know what? I do a lot of song critiques, mix critiques with my students. Like we'll be working. I have coaching students, private coaching students that I work with, and they'll send me a mix, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, bro. If your mix sucks, I'm gonna tell you your mix is horrible, bro. Your mix is terrible, but let me show you how to make it better.
But let me tell you why it's terrible. Let me show you what to fix.
Yeah, I'll tell you it's terrible, but I'm gonna show you also how to fix it and how to make it better. So
that's what it's all about.
You don't want other people telling you it sucks.
Well, but you also don't want your homie to be like, "Oh, it's fire."
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. It was always like grandma that would say, "Oh, baby, you so good." Yeah, no, you suck. But grandma loves you. She's not gonna tell you that you suck.
Yeah, there's always room to improve.
That's our job to tell you that you suck. Grandma's not gonna tell you.
Well, Donnie, thanks for coming on the podcast, man. This has been really cool.
Fun, bro. And we should do it again, man. You should do it with everybody.
Yeah, honestly.
You know what? I'm gonna call out Junior. Junior, challenge, accept it, do it.
I'm gonna send him an email.
Here, man. People need to know who Junior is because he's badass. I mean, he's one of the bad. How many mentors do we have now on Ascendry?
16 as of right now.
Man, y'all got so much choices. So many choices to look at,
there's
bro.
mentors on Ascendry.app that are like into mixing and then production and beat making and rap and EDM and rock and all of that.
If y'all kind of want to know what my main gig is, man, my main gig right now is my main thing right now, and I've discovered this recently is minimal mixing with less is more, bro. I just did a mix. This is a client that I've had for 12 years, worked together for a long time. And he sent me a mix recently, couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna try to do this with just a few plugins, as few plugins as possible, okay? And I'm just gonna try it with him because he trusts me, So, and he usually sends me the stems. He does production at home. He works in GarageBand, and he'll send me the drums and the guitars and the vocals, and I'll blend them, put it together. So this was a full song: drums, bass, guitar, electric guitar, vocals, a little keyboard. So I did a minimal mix, man. I was like, I'm just gonna try it. Really simple. Send it back to him. I was done in like 4 hours. Send it back to him. I didn't hear from him till the next day. And then he calls me, and he usually doesn't call me. He's a texter. He likes to text. But he calls me, and he goes, bro, I don't know what you're doing, man, but this is the best mix you've ever sent me.
And it was
And
one
he
where
had
you
no
did
notes.
less.
He had no notes.
On
He
the
said,
first
I'm
pass?
gonna, this is perfect. I'm going to release it. I was like, all right, cool.
And if you got
So,
that on
and
the first pass, that's huge. I always call that a hole in one, and I've had very few hole in ones
very few. I
in
think
my
that was
times
like
as a
the
master.
second one I ever did, bro. So, and, but this guy, I mean, like I said, I know this guy. I've worked with him for a long time. I kind of know his vibe. I know what he's looking for, but I did it minimal. I might have used, I'll look it up, man, but I might have used 10, maybe 8 plugins on the whole mix, on the entire mix, including reverbs and delays and
Wow.
on the master fader, but
That's
understand
actually,
I've got that too, though. I've got the analog
yeah, you
console.
got that
I'm
747
running through,
cockpit back
I'm running
there.
through analog. I've got a SSL bus compressor. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, you got
A
it. You
real
got it
one, not a
covered there.
plug-in, but a real,
So.
you know.
Actually, I have had to explain to my students here and there that SSL, the reason that the plugins look like that is because they're modeled after real physical hardware.
And look, a lot of the software is well done. A lot of it is well done, but
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
not hardware. Hardware, man, you can get in there and dial in between the knobs.
Yeah.
You get in between the clicks on the knobs, and it's just something
Yeah.
about hardware that I thoroughly enjoy.
Well, and it's one thing as a 100% digital producer, like I make a lot of sounds from scratch, and like my favorite ones right now are Serum 2 and Phase Plant. These are very much, they're obviously very digital software synths, and it wasn't until I was it was NAMM 2019, and it was Moog actually had a booth, and they were doing like almost like a little clinic on how to use like an analog synthesizer, how to like do the thing. And I sat in on it, and I heard how it was sounding. I'm like, you know what? I understand it now. That warmth that you guys are always talking about that doesn't exist with digital, I heard it. It was that day.
Yep. It's there. It's there. You just gotta find it,
Yeah.
Did you buy a Moog that day?
Oh God, no. I could barely afford lunch that day.
Yeah.
When I was living in LA,
anybody,
I was,
it's hard
No,
to
I
afford
mean,
anything at NAMM, so
it was such a
$12
cool
bottle of water. Yeah,
experience.
come on, man.
It was such a cool
I
experience.
think I was there. That's the last NAMM that I went to as well, 2019.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
think
there, but I don't
I
think
think it's the last one I went to.
well, I'm not employed with the company I was employed with anymore, and it's been enough
Well,
years I can say I was
we're
drunk.
members of
I was very drunk.
oh shit. My wife's company, my wife owns the company, which is the studios. And it's a production company. My wife's an actor, and she owns this production company, which it houses all the other stuff. There's a label and a publishing company and the studios and all that. So, but her company has a NAMM membership, so we get to go. I'm not a big fan of NAMM. I don't really like going. I don't like people.
It was just so much people.
There's so
Like
many
I
people.
like conventions every now and then. I like festivals every now and then, but
Yeah, not
for me, man, it was overkill. I did sit in on I was at the mix session with Chris Lord-Alge. That was really
I remember that.
cool.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Were you at that too?
That was Dave Pensado did a thing, right?
Same booth. Yeah.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
I
you
was
were there.
on that
Chances are I was probably within 50 feet of you at some point.
Maybe, bro.
That's actually crazy. We were me and my it was, do you remember anyone at Recording Connection named Eric? Possibly not. Variki?
No. The mentor or
Yeah, he worked with us in the building. And it was me, him, Andrew. Andrew was with us, and he wasn't. I'm not gonna try to say people were. I noticed there was booths that were selling the 80, or not the 805, but it was was it Sierra Nevada? It was some IPA that was local, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna have 7 of them. And next thing you know, I got nothing done at NAMM. Like the whole idea was to go network.
Yeah, right.
That didn't wind up happening.
You know what we used to do, bro? You know what we used to do, man? We'd in the restrooms, we'd leave a bunch of business cards in the restrooms. On like where
that's kind of genius.
Dry in your hands. Yeah, just throw business cards everywhere. Just make it rain at NAMM with business cards. And it worked. It worked a lot. We'd get a lot of stuff. Oh man, one time we went to NAMM. Speaking of NAMM, one time we went to NAMM with one time we went with DJ Paul. Bro, we're hanging out with DJ Paul at NAMM. Everybody wants to stop and take a picture. But we went one time with T-Boss from TLC. Oh my God, bro. People were just like, oh, it's T-Boss. Here's some free shit. And they were just giving us free shit. Dude, we came home with microphones and speakers and headphones and like all kind of cool shit. Just because we were there with T-Boss.
That's
We
actually
were doing
crazy.
we were doing a record with, we recorded all the music for they did a film on a VH1 called 20 Years of TLC, and we had to
Oh, I remember
record it.
that.
They had to re-record all the songs because, I think Sony owned the masters and they wouldn't give them up for the movie, whatever. So it was cheaper for them to re-record everything. So yeah, we got to record all the hits, man, with TLC. We had, T-Boz and Chili in the house. It was awesome, to
That's
say the least,
sick. That
you know?
sounds like a sick
These are
little
like I
moment.
told T-Boz one time, I said, "Bro, I can't tell you how many chicks I got with, in the club, you know what I'm saying?" Whatever.
Dude,
It was
so
fun. Yeah, she and I are still friends, man. We still, we text each other all the time, mostly on our birthdays, like, "Happy birthday, T," whatever, you know? But, she
that's
lives,
crazy.
she's in Atlanta now, I think, so she and her brother, but,
That's
pretty
cool.
cool. Cool
Dude, I
life, man.
will say, so the
Cool
the
life.
bathroom business card thing is so I did this recently. It was at Dance Festopia this year,
Mhm.
2025. So I was slotted on the second stage at the same time as Boogie T. And if you look up Boogie T, he is incredibly well known and has a huge following, specifically in the Midwest. He's got an enormous everybody. I love Boogie T, dude. I was like saddened at the fact that I would have to be performing and therefore miss Boogie T. And so, but anyways, I had to start thinking about how I was going to get people to come to my set. And I started thinking about, okay, so 2 years ago, there was an incident at Dance Festopia that lives in infamy. Anybody who might be watching this who knows about Dance Festopia, even a little bit, you know where I'm going with this. But there was an incident where a gent used a hot dog in a
Mm.
way that maybe normally you wouldn't. And it wound up on video, and it was in exchange for a perler. So there was somebody was like, "I'll give you this perler if you," and he's like, he did it on video. The video circulated so much to where it was borderline. It was basically viral. There's few other music festival stories that are that grody and that viral that I can think of, but this was 2 years ago. So I'm like, wait a minute. What if I get hand flyers, a little bit bigger than business cards, not full on flyers, but I get about 500 of these things and they say free perler, the perler candy necklace, right? You iron the beads down on them and their designs. And I had somebody make a perler using my logo for my DJ project, but I was going to pass it out during my set. So the hand flyers said free perler in giant letters, and then in not so giant letters underneath it, in parentheses, you don't have to stick a hot dog up your ass for this, I promise. And
Oh, that's
then it
that's
was
hilarious.
text perler and it was like a specialized text number and it had a QR code, had my set time on it. At the bottom, it was like, this is a Blackout production. And it had like my logo and everything. And I think the most common place I put those flyers were porta potties. I would put them on the seat would be down and I would put them on the seat. And I would try to tag as many of these porta potties because inevitably someone's going to have to use it. They're going to have to come across this flyer. They're going to have to move the flyer to get the lid up. And you can look on my Instagram. That must have worked because we got an insane amount of text signups. I texted everybody that signed up over that 3-day period. Hey, I'm giving the perler out during my set. This time, second stage, be there. And it was a packed out stage. So
Absolutely, man.
flyering works.
That's what it is, and the main thing that you probably still have some of those email addresses that you can reach out to,
Every single one of
right?
them on a
Yeah,
CSV.
absolutely, man,
And I
and
also put metapixel data. So when you scanned the QR code went through Cloudflare, which had metapixels infused into it. So pretty much I also can create lookalike data from all of those people.
yeah,
So I can retarget all of
yeah.
those people.
I mean, all right, so speaking of that, and this is a good segue into this next thing I'm gonna say, on Ascendry, bro, I mean, one of my main things is not only can I show you and to help you work on your mixes and things like that, but, on your business and how we do business, how we get and how we get clients and how we keep clients, and how we get clients to send us clients. This is things that I'm really good at that I've learned over my 30 plus years of doing this stuff, you know what I mean? So if you guys want help with that, if you want to learn how to produce stuff, go see BLAQOUT, go see Junior, go see some of these other guys. You want to learn how to make money knowing how to do those things, hit me up.
Yeah, the business
In the 30 minute
sustainability.
in the 30 minutes of free call, I can show
Yeah.
you some stuff, man, that'll get you your first payday, you
That is
know?
something that is so valuable, that is so under discussed in traditional music programs, that's one of the reasons I
Well,
built Ascendry, is because they're not giving enough business information. It's not enough, "Okay, you have this skill, now here's how you go pay your rent with it."
you know what, man? And that was a thing that I saw missing at Recording Connection. You're talking about how many students I had, bro. Pretty much every one of my students would come to me when they get near the end of their program and go, "Hey, bro, what do I do now? How do I make money? How do I start? How do I get a client? How do I get the gig? You know, how many guys came and asked me how do I make money doing this? And I would just sit down and tell them, all right, here's what I think what you should do. And a lot of them did. Yeah, some of them, okay, well, yeah, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to go back to the warehouse and drive the forklift. Cool. We need forklift drivers at the warehouse. We need baristas at Starbucks to make my cup, you know? But the guys that really want to do this, bro, I got you, man. I'll show you how to make within 30 minutes, I can show you how to make your first dollar.
How to get the wings, but then also how to flap them
100%.
and
How
fly.
to keep the wings flapping for the rest of your life.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
all right, bro. I'm not gonna say I'm not rich. I'm rich as fuck. I mean, look what I do for a living. Look what I get to hang out with all day. This is my office, bro. And so yeah, I'm rich as fuck. Wealthy? Nah, I'm not really worried. I'm not really in it for the wealth. I'm in it to do this. I'm in it to hang out. I'm in it to enjoy my life.
Well, that's something that I determined whenever because I had a pretty cushy job description and pretty decent pay, and I decided that, yes, the financial stability, it was nice. It was a great way to calm my mind and numb myself down, but, I asked myself one day, what about maybe I quit my job and go do music full time and make this my life and everything that I do? And what if I take a drastic pay cut, but I can still pay my bills? And I can, as a result, surround my life 40 hours a week, wound up being more like 55, 60. And I can do this from day in to day out, and that's my life. Even if it's a pay cut, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this because this is going to make me happier. And it was a pay cut eventually, but the thing is, like, it built to where it wasn't. And if you're happier doing what you're doing, you're going to do more work. You're going to do better work. And then that will manifest itself into,
It's gonna grow. Yeah, it's
you
gonna
know,
grow. I mean, I look at it this way, man. If I'm paying my bills, I'm winning. I'm winning, bro.
dude,
You
do you
know?
remember the first time that you paid your rent with 100% music money?
Yeah, easy.
Such
That's
a good feeling, dude. It's like
yeah,
'cause
because I'm not.
it feels so impossible all the way up until you do it.
Yeah, I had some shitty jobs up until then, man. I was a welder. Tried welding. That's not for me. Oh yeah, okay, my family, bro. I hated the shrimp boats. I couldn't stand the boat, man. The boat would be tied up to the dock, and I would step on the boat and throw up. I hated it. I love shrimp. Don't get me wrong. I mean, me and shrimp have a special relationship as far as food goes. But no, I don't want to catch them. But yeah, I mean, this is awesome. Y'all should
Yeah.
come over and do this.
Yeah,
Quit your day
honestly.
job today. Come over and hang out with us.
You heard it
Come
from
on.
the man. Quit your job. Risk it all, dude. What are you
Quit your day
doing?
job. Living in the truck ain't that bad,
No,
but I
man.
can't.
I actually know more than one person, so you now make it more than one, because I know, well, they were a couple, but they lived in the same car for, like, 4 months when they got out to LA. And now both of them are living amazing industry lives. One of
Mhm.
them works for Insomniac. The other one, he's kind of working for everybody. It's hard to keep track of who he's working with, but
Yeah,
they started out, and I'm like, they were living in Beverly Hills in in their car
man.
because they found a little area they could park, and it was like, or not, it was West Hollywood. It was West Hollywood. But anyway, fast forward to now, and it was, yeah,
Man,
it was worth
if
it,
you're
man.
if
If
you're
you want
paying
it.
your rent in if you're paying your rent in Los Angeles by working in the music industry, well done, friend. You know,
Yeah,
well done. So yeah, get it done. Come on
cool,
over,
man.
hang out with us, man.
Yeah.
Sign up on that free discovery call, people. Let's go.
Yeah, we've had a really good response on the discovery
Yeah,
calls, but in my opinion, just knowing what a wealth of knowledge you guys are, I don't know why you guys aren't all the way booked to the point where your calendars are
I'm
on
telling you,
fire.
man. I mean, the amount of dude between what did you say, 16 of us, bro? Between
Yeah,
16 of us, the amount of knowledge and experience and just what we want to give you. Why are y'all not like, yeah, like you said, why is my
collectively,
calendar
it's more than 100 years. It's
Oh,
way
yeah,
more than
easy,
100 years.
easy. Dude, come on, man. I'm the oldest mentor here, but you know what? I got more experience. So I got, y'all want to talk about tape? I was here before digital. I was here before anything digital. We were still working on tape machines, bro. You know, before ADATs, even before anything digital. So yeah,
That's crazy.
I got some knowledge.
Sweet, man. Well, we're gonna
That's
have
fun.
to do this again soon. I'm.
Yeah, let's do
It's kind of funny on the brief. It always says like
an
approximately
hour.
60 minutes, and here we are, an hour and a half.
There's
So,
some there's some of the cool there's some uncool shit you can cut out. Feel free. It's fine.
and I'm
I
sure
won't be
the
mad.
counter is wild with me.
Yeah.
I'm real bad with my ums and ahs.
Again,
Last episode, when we were editing the last episode, it
yeah.
cut out. So Riverside.fm has a way of detecting ums and ahs
Yeah.
and telling you who did the ums and ahs and how much you can cut out. It cut out 5 minutes of ums and ahs from me.
Oh, it's well, yeah, but dude, but that's real. I mean, keep it raw, keep it real.
Yeah.
The students want to see us. They don't care about edits.
Yeah. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
There you
Well,
go.
cool. Well,
All
thanks
right.
for
Hey,
watching, everybody.
I appreciate you having me on the podcast, bro.
Yeah.
And
No,
well,
thanks for
again,
coming
like
on.
I said, well done. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see you grow. Let's do it.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, cheers, everybody. Have a good
See you
night.
next time.